Unit 3, Period 1, Activity 1.
Calm down. Collapse. Cover. First aid kit. Ground. Lie. Pulse. Right. Sweat. Thermal blanket.
Okay, at the picture on the next page. Describe it. 1. These three people seem to be on a football pitch. 2. One of them is on his back and he may be sick. 3. The other two are with him on the grass, and they look worried. 4. The adult wants the second boy to go and get something. Listen and answer the questions.
Walid and his friend Jamie are at football training. Jamie is a very good player, but it is his first day back at school after a week in bed with flu, and something is not right.
Jamie, you don't look good.
I'm much better than I was.
But perhaps you should take things more slowly.
The most important match of the year is on Saturday, and I want to be ready for it.
But you're not as strong as you think you are.
I'm fine. Listen everyone, you're doing better than you were last week, but you're still not doing the best you can. And you're still not as fit as you need to be. So next, please run round the pitch as fast as you can. Go!
Jamie, stop. You look terrible.
You're right. It's getting worse.
Coach, Jamie has collapsed.
Really? He's usually the fittest boy in the team.
Yes, but he's just had flu.
What? Well, he was wrong to start training so soon.
I told him.
Okay, Walid, calm down. Now, let's check his pulse. It's racing. He's cold too, and he's sweating.
Do we need a doctor?
Perhaps, but first let's cover him. Run and get the thermal blanket and the first aid kit.
I'll be as quick as I can.
1. Why was Jamie away from school? He had flu. 2. How does Jamie look to Walid? He doesn't look good. 3. Why is the coach surprised that Jamie has collapsed? Jamie is usually the fittest boy in the team. 4. What does the coach decide to do to help him? He decides to cover him with the thermal blanket.
Walid and his friend Jamie are at football training. Jamie is a very good player, but it is his first day back at school after a week in bed with flu, and something is not right.
Jamie, you don't look good.
I'm much better than I was.
But perhaps you should take things more slowly.
The most important match of the year is on Saturday, and I want to be ready for it.
But you're not as strong as you think you are.
I'm fine. Listen everyone, you're doing better than you were last week, but you're still not doing the best you can. And you're still not as fit as you need to be. So next, please run round the pitch as fast as you can. Go!
Jamie, stop. You look terrible.
You're right. It's getting worse.
Coach, Jamie has collapsed.
Really? He's usually the fittest boy in the team.
Yes, but he's just had flu.
What? Well, he was wrong to start training so soon.
I told him.
Okay, Walid, calm down. Now, let's check his pulse. It's racing. He's cold too, and he's sweating.
Do we need a doctor?
Perhaps, but first let's cover him. Run and get the thermal blanket and the first aid kit.
I'll be as quick as I can.
Period 2. Activity 2. 1A.
You don't look well. Something isn't right.
B.
I know. I'm sweating, but I'm not hot. I feel cold. I feel...
2A.
Help! Help! My friend has collapsed. Call a doctor.
B.
I don't think she's as bad as that, so calm down and let's try to help her.
3A.
I'll go and get the school's first aid kit.
B.
Good idea. And we need to cover her to keep her warm.
4A.
I'll bring a thermal blanket.
B.
Good. And now I need to check her pulse to see if it's strong or weak.
5A.
Should we leave her on the ground like this, or should we move her?
B.
No. Let her lie here quietly at the moment.
3. Read again and answer the questions. 1. How does Jamie feel today? He thinks that he feels fine. 2. Why does he want to go training so much? There's an important match on Saturday. 3. What does Walid think? He thinks Jamie should take things more slowly. 4. Who is right, and how do we soon know this? Walid is right, and we know this because Jamie collapses. 5. What important information does Walid give the coach? He tells the coach that Jamie has just had flu. 6. When the coach checks Jamie, what does he soon find out? His pulse is very fast, he's cold and he's sweating. 7. What does he want to do first to help Jamie? He wants to cover Jamie. 8. How is Walid going to help? He's going to get the thermal blanket. 4. Work in groups. Listen again and practice the conversations.
Period 2. Activity 2. 1A.
You don't look well. Something isn't right.
B.
I know. I'm sweating, but I'm not hot. I feel cold. I feel...
2A.
Help! Help! My friend has collapsed. Call a doctor.
B.
I don't think she's as bad as that, so calm down and let's try to help her.
3A.
I'll go and get the school's first aid kit.
B.
Good idea. And we need to cover her to keep her warm.
4A.
I'll bring a thermal blanket.
B.
Good. And now I need to check her pulse to see if it's strong or weak.
5A.
Should we leave her on the ground like this, or should we move her?
B.
No. Let her lie here quietly at the moment.
Unit 3 Period 3. 1. Read the examples. 1. He's usually the fittest boy in the team. 2. The most important match of the year is on Saturday. 3. You should take things more slowly. 4. I am much better than I was. 5. You are not doing the best you can. 6. You are not as strong as you think you are. 7. Please run round the pitch as fast as you can. Look at the examples again. Tick, slash, the best way to complete the statements. 1. When we compare things with short adjectives, we usually use A, er, est forms. 2. When we compare things with longer adjectives, we usually use B, more, most forms. 3. When we compare actions with regular adverbs, short or long, we usually use. B. More. Most forms. 4. We use the irregular forms better and best for. B. Both the adjective good and the adverb well. 5. We can use the form, not, as. A. With both adjectives and adverbs. 2. Compare Fuad, Yasser, and Majd. Fuad. 39 degrees. Yasser. 40 degrees. Majd. 41 degrees Celsius. 1. They all feel sick, but Fuad doesn't feel as sick as Yasser or Majd. Yasser feels sicker than Fuad, and Majd feels the sickest of them all. 2. They all have dangerous fevers, but Fuad's fever isn't. 3. They are all sweating heavily, but Fuad isn't. 3. Work in pairs. Compare Rima, Samira, and Lana. These girls played well in their last match. Use the table to talk about them. 1. How fast did they run? 2. How well did they jump? 3. How quickly did they pass the ball? 1. Short adjectives and early, fast, hard, late, est. 2. Long adjectives and adverbs, more/most. 3. Good/well and bad, better/best, worse/worst. 4. Not, as and adjective/adv and as.
Period 4. Activity 1.
Beat. Chart. Gentle. Heart. Injury. Out of breath. Rate. Sensible. Warm up.
Word formation. Act. Active. Activity. Healthy. Health.
Period 4. Activities 2 and 3. 1. A.
Why do you use so many charts in your teaching?
B.
Well, they're often easier to understand than words, so it's just a sensible thing to do.
2. A.
Can you explain the beat that you feel when you check your pulse?
B.
Yes, you see, your heart produces that.
3. A.
Do you get out of breath quickly when you run?
B.
Yes, I do, and my heart rate rises.
4. A.
I want to become more active. Perhaps I should start a new sport.
B.
Well, you can go to the sports centre. They have various activities that you can choose from.
Good idea, and I'm sure it'll be good for my health if I can get fitter.
5. A.
When you go training, always warm up carefully first.
B.
I know. I always start with some gentle exercises.
That's good, because it helps to stop sports injuries.
Period 4. Activity 4. Now, Dr. Blake, there are some older people who worry that young people today are not fit enough and not healthy enough. They say their lives are too soft and too easy. They think that they watch too much TV and they don't get enough exercise. What do you think?
Well, some young people may be like that, But I don't think most young people are. And every year, young sports people do better than ever before.
Ah, yes, but not everyone can be a top sports person. How much exercise should a normal young person do?
You don't need to do hours of hard training every day to be healthy. About half an hour of exercise is enough. But you need to do something active enough to raise your heart rate, to make your heart beat faster, and to get a little out of breath.
So what activities can you do, for example?
You can walk fast to and from school every day, or you can help at home and do some active housework, like cleaning the windows.
That isn't really enough to get fit, is it?
You can do more than that, of course. But yes, that's enough to feel fitter and healthier, to stay thin and not to put on weight if you don't eat too much. You'll live longer too.
Good. So let's talk about sports and sports injuries. How can people do sports and not hurt themselves?
Some sports are more dangerous than others, but with all sports you have to be sensible. You need to warm up with some gentle exercises. Don't push yourself too hard or too soon. And wear the right things. Good quality shoes, for example. Finally, don't go on for too long. When you're tired, stop.
Dr. Blake thinks that most young people are fit and healthy. 2. Young people need about half an hour of exercise a day. 3. His suggestions for activities include walking to school and home again. 4. He says that some sports are engrouse than others. 5. You should stop when you feel tired. Unit 3 Period 5. 1. Work in pairs. Talk about the picture on the next page. 1. Why do you think all the boys and girls are wearing a uniform? They are wearing uniform because it's a school. 2. Do you think the man at the desk is a visitor or a normal teacher? He's probably a visitor. 3. Looking at the picture on the screen, what do you think he has been speaking about? Look at the graph on page 37 to help. It's something about sports and training. 4. Why do you think a boy has got his hand in the air? Because he wants to ask a question. 5. What do you think the speaker is going to do next? He's going to ask the boy what his question is. 2. Read and mark the statements true or false. 1. Julie Nixon has done a lot of rock climbing in her life. False. 2. Swimming is less dangerous than other sports activities, and it is good for people who have hurt themselves in the past. True. 3. Everyone should feel warm when they start doing any sports activity. True. 4. Jamie's normal heart rate is much less than 190 beats a minute. True. 5. Dr. Blake thinks that the coach was wrong to stop Jamie from doing more training. False.
Period 5. Activity 3. Dr. Blake is at Waleed's school and he has been using charts to talk about health, sport and getting fit. Now he is answering questions.
Hello, I'm Julie Nixon. I started rock climbing last year, but I fell and broke my leg. Since then, I haven't been active enough, but I want to try something safer. What's your advice?
You feel that rock climbing is too dangerous for you, and yes, it is more dangerous than most sports. The safest activity is swimming, and that's also good for old injuries like yours. But with all sports, always remember to warm up first. Do gentle exercises for the various parts of your body. This helps stop injuries. I'm Jamie Smith, and I recently went football training after a week in bed with flu. I started well enough, but then I got out of breath. I began sweating badly, and my heart started beating very fast. Then I collapsed. They say my heart rate was 190 beats a minute, but I was all right after 10 minutes, and I wanted to start again. The problem was that our coach sent me home. He said I wasn't fit enough to train. Was he wrong? No, he was right, and you were wrong. Hard training after you've been sick is dangerous, Jamie. Your body was still too weak to do sports, and you didn't wait long enough to get well again. The rule is this: be sensible and don't push yourself too hard or too soon. Take things slowly, and remember the old saying, better safe than sorry.
Read and add notes to complete the table. Name: Julie. Activity: rock climbing. When? Last year. What happened? Fell and broke her leg. Advice: try swimming. Name: Jamie. Activity: football training. When? Recently. What happened? He collapsed. Advice: don't push yourself too hard or too soon. 2. Work in pairs. Ask and answer questions about Julie and Jamie. Student A: ask these questions. What was, name, doing, and when? Then what happened? What shouldn't he, she do in future? Student B: answer the questions from your notes in Activity 1. 3. Read the passage again and do these tasks. Say what the underlined words refer to. 1. Line 6, I want to try something safer. I want to try something, a sports activity that isn't as dangerous as rock climbing. 2. Line 10, old injuries like yours. Old injuries like Julie's. 3. Line 17, they say my heart rate was. The doctors / the people checking his heart rate say my heart rate was. 4. Line 22, the rule is this. The rule is be sensible, and don't push yourself too hard or too soon. Now say what the underlined words and phrases mean. Line 10, and that's also good for old injuries. And that's also it will help old injuries. Line 15, after a week in bed with flu. After being ill, in bed, for a week. Line 20, and you were wrong. And you were, it was a mistake to push yourself too hard. Line 22, and don't push yourself too hard. And don't do too much exercise too hard. Line 23, and remember the old saying. And remember a popular piece of wisdom. Line 23, better safe than sorry. It's better to do things safely than take risks and perhaps have problems. 4. Work in pairs. Think and discuss. 1. Have you, or has someone that you know, ever had a sports injury? 2. What happened? 3. Think of Dr. Blake's advice to Julie and Jamie. What advice might he give to you? Or the person that you know? T3 period 7. 1. Work in pairs. Match the letters in brackets to the words in the box. Use them to complete the paragraph. Bug. Cold. Coughing. Earache. Fever. Flu. Medicine. Sick. Sneezing. Sore throat. Majd has got a terrible bug at the moment, and he's really very sick. He's hot all the time, and he has a fever of 40 degrees Celsius. He also has a sore throat and an earache. He's coughing and sneezing a lot, too. It's worse than a bad cold, it's flu. The best medicine for him is paracetamol, and then he needs several quiet days in bed. Split the table with nouns and adjectives from the passage in period 5. Nouns. Health. Adjectives. Healthy. Nouns. Safety. Adjectives. Safe. Nouns. Activity. Adjectives. Active. Nouns. Danger. Adjectives. Dangerous. Now use pairs of words from the table to complete the sentences. 1. It isn't healthy to eat just fries and sweets. For good health you need to eat real food, not just junk food. 2. You can hurt yourself in any sport, so there is always some danger. But rock climbing is more dangerous than a lot of other sports. 3. Dr. Blake wants everyone to be safe when they do sport, and not hurt themselves, so he always tells people some important and sensible safety rules. 4. He says that it is important to be active every day. But he also says that the activity does not have to be very long or very hard.
3. Work in pairs. Name the sports from the letters in the box. 1. Football. 2. Basketball. 3. Sailing. 4. Running. 5. Swimming. 6. Table tennis. 7. Volleyball. 8. Tennis. Now talk about sports that you like and that you do not like so much. For example, Student A. I like basketball more than running. Student B. Do, too. But I don't like basketball as much as football. Student A. I don't, either. I like football best of all. Knit 3 period 8. 2 and enough. 1. Read the examples. 1. Don't push yourself too hard. 2. Climbing is too dangerous for you. 3. Your body was too weak to do sports. 4. I have not been active enough. 5. You did not wait long enough for that. 6. I was not fit enough to train. Look at the examples again. Tick the best way to complete the statements. 1. We use to, and not, enough when we compare things with the right quantity or standard. 2. We use to plus adjective or adverb when something is more quantity or standard. 3. We use not plus adjective or adverb plus enough when something is less than the right quantity or standard. 4. We sometimes. 5. We sometimes. 2 work in pairs. Talk about the people. 1 shoes large. Shoes small. Her shoes are too large. Her shoes aren't small enough. 2 trousers short. Trousers long. His trousers are too short. His trousers aren't long enough. 3 shirt color light. Shirt color dark. His shirt color is too light. His shirt color isn't dark enough. 3 work in pairs. Talk about the people. 1. It. High for him. He. Good. Jump as high as that. It's too high for him. He isn't good enough to jump as high as that. 2. The ball. Fast for her. She. Quick. Stop the ball. The weights are too heavy for him. He isn't strong enough to hold him above his head. 3. The weights. Heavy for him. He. Strong. Hold him above his head. The ball is too fast for her. She isn't quick enough to stop the ball. 4. She. Good for him. He. Fast. Return the ball. She is too good for him. He isn't fast enough to return the ball. Knit 3 period 9. 1. Work in pairs. Compare the 3 mini-buses. The coach and a teacher are choosing a new mini-bus for the school sports teams. Look at the table and compare the buses like this. Take the parts of the coach and teacher. Student A. The Montana is bigger than the, isn't it? Student B. Yes, but it isn't as big as the, is it? Student A. That's right. The is the biggest of all. The skyline equals the Roadrunner, the Montana. How big is it? The skyline carries 24. The Roadrunner carries 12. The Montana carries 17. How safe is it? The skyline 3 stars. The Roadrunner 5 stars. The Montana 4 stars. How comfortable is it? The skyline 5 stars. The Roadrunner 3 stars. The Montana 4 stars. How expensive is it? The skyline $32,000. The Roadrunner $27,000. The Montana $29,000. How expensive is it to use? The skyline 5 stars. The Roadrunner 3 stars. The Montana 4 stars. 2. Work in pairs. Read and discuss the mini-buses. The head teacher has sent this note. To Mary Allen, Tony West. From Peter Best, head teacher. Date 15 inches November. Thank you for finding out about new mini-buses for the school sports teams. I just want to say some things to help you choose the right one for our school's needs. Of course, the new minibus must be safe and comfortable, but we have to think about the following, too. It has to carry 14 people or more. It can't be too expensive to buy, so we can't spend more than $30,000. We should also get a minibus that is not too expensive to use. Discuss safety and comfort like this. A. So first, it has to be safe. B. Well, the Roadrunner is the safest. A. And I think the is safe enough, too. B. But I don't think the is safe enough. Discuss size and costs like this. A. So it also has to carry 14. B. Well, the skyline is the biggest. A. And the is big enough, too. B. But the is too small. 3. Write back to the head teacher. 2. Mary Allen, Tony West. From Peter Best, head teacher. Date 15 inches November. Thank you for finding out about new mini-buses for the school sports teams. I just want to say some things too. help you choose the right one for our school's needs. Of course, the new minibus must be safe and comfortable. But we have to think about the following, too. It has to carry 14 people or more. It can't be too expensive to buy, so we can't spend more than $30,000. We should also get a minibus that is not too expensive to use. 3. Write back to the head teacher. Name the right minibus for the school and say why. Start like this. After a lot of thinking, we have decided that the right minibus for our school is the. We think that it is enough and enough too. It is enough to carry. It is also not too expensive too. Finally, it is not. 4. Work in groups. Talk about yourselves when you were young. Make statements like this. When I was 2, I wanted to ride my big brother's bike. But I couldn't because I was too small to ride it. I wasn't big enough to ride it. Look at the picture and answer the questions. Who is the speaker and where is he? What has he been speaking about?
Period 10, Activity 2. Part 1.
Now, a healthy heart is a very important thing, and being fit is very important too. And even before exercise, there's something very different between the heart of a fit person and the heart of someone who isn't fit. If you're not very fit, your normal heart rate is probably about 70 beats a minute. But if you're very fit, your normal heart rate is probably less. And you know, some top runners have a heart rate of just 40 beats a minute. And that's very different, I think you'll agree. And what about during exercise? Well, if you're not fit, your heart rate rises quickly, and then you get out of breath fast. However, if you're fit, the changes are smaller. You get out of breath more slowly, and your heart rate rises less quickly. And finally, what about after exercise? If you're not fit, you can only get your breath back slowly, and your heart rate falls slowly to its normal rate. However, if you're fit, you can get your breath back more quickly, and your heart rate falls faster.
RK in pairs. Ask and answer questions. Student A. Take the part of a student. Ask questions like these. If you aren't fit, what's your normal heart rate before exercise? Then what happens during exercise? Student B. Take the part of Dr. Blake. Answer the questions from the table in Activity 2. 4. Look at Dr. Blake's chart in Activity 1. Then listen to Part 2 and do the tasks.
Period 10, Activity 4. Part 2.
Now, let's have a look at this chart. You see, we've done a kind of test with two young people, Steve and Kate. Kate is fit, but Steve is not. Let's find out what happened. Before exercise, Steve's normal resting heart rate was 73 beats a minute. Then, when he started doing exercise, his heart rate rose quickly to 155 beats a minute. And then, when he stopped exercising, his heart rate fell very slowly to its normal resting rate after 3 minutes 20. But now, when we compare that with Kate, we see something very different. To start with, Kate's resting heart rate was just 65 beats a minute. And then, when she started doing exercise, her heart rate rose less, to just 132 beats a minute, and it also rose more slowly. And after exercise, her heart rate fell faster than Steve's and returned to its normal resting rate after just 1 minute 30.
Write the correct name for each colored line, Steve or Kate. Steve. Kate. 2. Say who is fit and who is not fit. Kate is fit, Steve is not fit. 3. Compare their heart rates before, during and after exercise. Steve's resting rate was higher than Kate's. Steve's rate went up much more quickly than Kate's, and it was higher than Kate's. Steve's rate fell more slowly than Kate's. Practice your pronunciation, the sounds of th. 1. Listen. Tick the sounds that you hear. 0. 1. A healthy heart. 2. Important thing. 3. There's something. 4. Then you get. 5. Out of breath. 6. The changes. 2. Listen and repeat the sentences. 1. A healthy heart is a very important thing. 2. There's something that's very different. 3. Then you get out of breath fast. 4. If you're fit, the changes are smaller.
Period 11. Activity 1. 1. Jamie went football training before he was really fit, so he soon started sweating, and then he collapsed on the ground. 2. There is always the danger of an injury in any sport, so it is sensible to warm up before you begin with gentle exercises for various muscles.
K at Dr. Blake's chart again. Use it to complete the table. Normal heart rate. Heart rate of very fit person. 1. Steve's resting heart rate was 73 beats a minute. Kate's was 65. 2. Steve's heart rate rose quickly to 155. Kate's rose less, and less quickly, to 132. 3. His rate fell very slowly to its resting rate after 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Her rate fell much faster to its resting rate after 1 minute 30 seconds. 3. Work in pairs. Ask and answer questions. Student A. Take the part of a student. Ask questions like these. What was Steve's heart rate before exercise? Was Kate's heart rate higher or lower than Steve's? How high did Steve's heart rate rise during exercise? Did Kate's heart rate rise as high as Steve's? How quickly did Steve's heart rate fall after exercise? Did Kate's heart rate fall as slowly as Steve's? Student B. Take the part of Dr. Blake. Answer the questions from the table in Activity 2. Write paragraph 1 of a report. Use information from Activity 2. 1. First, write this title, Checking Heart Rates and Fitness. 2. Read the information in the table again. Then choose the best topic sentence. Steve and Kate have both got hearts. Chart 1 shows 2 tests. The tests on Steve and Kate produced the following information. 3. Use the chart and table in Activity 2 to write the rest of the paragraph. Start your 3 parts of the paragraph like this. Before exercise. Then, during exercise. After exercise. 4. In each part, write first about Steve, and then about Kate. Use the connectors, but, or, dot. However. 5. After your topic sentence, continue like this. Before exercise, Steve's resting heart rate was beats a minute, but Kate's. Then, during